The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, my name is Leo Connors and welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. Today I got a very special guest making his second appearance, Jerry Lane.
Hey, thanks for having me, Leo.
Thanks for coming on, Jerry. I appreciate it.
Glad to pinch hit for Channing Thomas.
Yes, we had to do a little switch, guys. Shannon's going to come on now on January 11th in Jerry's place as Jerry took his. Shannon had a car accident and he said, just so everybody knows that he's good, it's just the car needs to be fixed. Yep. I told him, I said, cars can be replaced. People can't.
Yep.
So, all right, Jerry, let's get right into it. Fan questions. Sure. Dave Fournier, thank you for asking this question. Jerry, you had the opportunity to do security for ECW back in 97 and 98. Are there any stories you can share about your time doing that?
Not specifically, because I wasn't, involved in that kind of way with, backstage goings on. But I was at the show during the mass transit incident.
Nice. Okay.
And I remember most of the time when they ran in Revere, I used to work in the back.
Okay.
At the entrance where people were coming in. But on this show, I kind of crept in closer to the ring.
Yeah.
And I had a bird's eye view of the gusher.
Yeah. That was an insane.
Oh my God.
The video of that is unbelievable with the blood just like coming out like a bubbler.
Yep. And that was probably the most gruesome thing I've ever seen, in wrestling.
Right.
Either at the pro or the indie level.
Yep.
That was
pretty gruesome.
That was just insane.
All right. Well, I have a follow-up to this. Did you work with Derek Dukes doing security?
I do not remember Derek during that time.
Yep.
He might have been there and I was oblivious to it, but I don't remember him specifically being around.
Okay. Well, he had said on this show that they turned the cameras off when he got in the ring. And Sonny Goodspeed actually said it to me a couple of weeks ago, said that's actually when they make sure they keep the cameras on for dark matches and things like that.
Right.
So you did not see any of Derek matches?
I did.
ECW matches?
I did not.
Okay. And it's okay because nobody else did either, Jerry. Nobody did.
I have no recollection of him at all.
Well, I'm going to come right out here and honestly say I can say 100% true that he never wrestled in ECW. I'll say that. Sorry, Derek, but you told too many lies, dude. All right. Dave Fournier has another question. You travel to a lot of different promotions to see their shows. It's a loaded question, Fournier. What's your favorite promotion? Okay, and I know the reason why I'm going to stop you there for 1 second, because Mikey, I'm going to say his last name is, how you say it? Froughton?
Mikey Froughton.
Froughton, okay,
Yeah.
So that was pretty close. He also wants to know, but first he says, I love Jerry Lane. Good for him, he deserves it. What promotion does he love going to the most? So like Dave Fournier asked, which promotion is your favorite and why? You might even have a couple. I don't know. We'll find out now.
To be honest, I have several.
Okay.
I've been to more chaotic shows than the rest of them.
Right.
So that makes it the de facto favorite promotion for me.
Right.
Because I went to some of their shows in the early stages, in the early 2000s. And then, life happened and I stopped going. probably in the mid 2000s.
Okay.
So I missed Kofi's run in Chaotic.
Oh, wow.
I didn't see any
Yeah.
of Kofi at that time. I ended up going back to Chaotic. I believe it was either 2012 or 2013.
Okay.
And it was at a Cold Fury show. The place was packed. I had my son with me that night.
Hurricane.
Yep, we didn't have tickets at the time, and we were able to get them at the door, but it was so crowded and there were no seats to be had.
And you like a seat. Me, you know me, I like to stand at shows.
Yep.
You like a seat.
I like a seat. And Mark Beaudry,
Yep.
adult, got us 2 chairs right by the railing at the entrance at the PAV.
Wow.
When the guys were coming out.
That's
and I
pretty
said,
awesome.
oh
That's
my
great
God.
seats for at the
Those,
PAV.
yeah. And, we were right there.
Right.
And at that time, right at the entrance where the guys were coming out, our seats were angled in such a way that we were right behind the announce table.
Oh, right behind Rich.
Right behind Rich.
And who was he doing it with? RJ?
I believe it was
Or Milo?
RJ. It was either RJ or Milo.
Okay.
I can't remember, but I thought Arch Kincaid did some commentary too at one time. I could
Could
be
have been
wrong,
him too. You're right.
but he ended up coming out. They did the Chaotic Countdown at that show,
Oh, all right.
and Arch came out towards the end. So that was a pretty cool show. The crowd reactions were great, and then at that point I was hooked, and I made up my mind that I was going to keep coming back.
Right.
So that's what got me back on the Chaotic train at that time.
Nice.
But since then, I've always been a big NECW supporter.
Yep.
For
Sheldon.
for Sheldon. LPW with Jim Burgoyne.
Yes. Pro wrestling.
They run
shows.
great shows all
Yes,
the
they
time
do.
in Clinton.
I need to go back to them. I was going to a couple of their shows in a row, and then I just stopped going. It's nothing against them. It's just Friday nights seem to work for me better to shows. That's all.
Right. And those were my main ones. And since they started up, I've been to every 01 Pro Wrestling Northeast when AG was running it.
Right.
And of course, since the pandemic, nobody's been running. The only shows that have run, to my knowledge, in New England were the 2 in Rhode Island.
Yep. I was at both.
New World Wrestling Extreme.
Yes, Jimmy Allen.
And the APW show that they ran in Derry.
Yes. You went to that also.
Yep.
Yeah, so did I. So I went to all 3 of those shows. Did you go to both the Trooper shows?
I did.
Okay.
I went to both of those.
Yeah. Nice. I mean, a lot of people was giving him crap, but he did everything he
Yeah.
could to. He put
For-
on a good, safe show, I thought. I really do.
Under the circumstances,
Yeah.
he did everything right.
Yep.
Everybody was socially distant. They checked temperatures
Yeah.
at the door, right?
After every match, they wiped stuff down. They
Yep.
did that at the APW show,
Yep.
too. You got to give these guys credit for trying.
Yep, they wiped down the ropes and the turnbuckles.
Yep.
They, they under the current conditions, they
Yeah.
did the best. They did the best job they could.
I think they did, too. I really
And
do.
unfortunately, with the spike of cases in Massachusetts, there won't be any shows anywhere in Massachusetts anytime soon, which is a shame.
It is a shame.
And hopefully, by the summer,
I hope.
people will start running.
I hope so, Jerry. It's been tough on a lot of people,
Yeah.
even with the holidays, I didn't get to
Yeah.
do the regular things that I always should. I haven't seen my parents over at Christmas time. It was just Nicole ended up catching the COVID.
Oh.
She had the virus about a month ago.
Oh,
So I'm not going to bring she was at my house. I'm not going to bring her to my 80-year-old parents' house.
yep,
Do you know what I mean? I'd just rather be safe than sorry,
yep,
you know?
exactly.
But yeah, I hope this all ends so we can all get back to normal. You know what I miss? Not only do I miss like wrestling shows, I miss going to my concerts.
Yep,
I miss a lot of things.
yep.
So, all right. Next question is from Dave still. If you could make any dream match in New England, what match would it be? That's a good question. Now, I'm thinking, he said any match. So I'm thinking you could take a guy from 20 years ago, put him in the ring with a guy today, or whatever you want to do.
Yep. Or cross promote.
That would be good too.
With
I could think of a couple right off the bat, some young kids.
Two or three promotions getting together and working together. But the one that I was thinking of right off the bat was just because I'm a little more familiar with the Chaotic guys.
Yeah.
I was thinking that Charlie Cashew, Ricky Archer, and CJ Cruz in a triple threat match for the New England title, maybe. They're running a tournament for it now.
Ladder match.
It's vacant. Oh, yeah, even better.
Yeah. I think that'd be a great match.
Yeah.
Who would you pick to win that match?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's tough because I think all three deserve a shot at a belt.
Yep.
And I think any one of the three would do a great job.
Right.
Carrying the belt for however long they'd, like them to have the belt for.
Yeah.
And I don't think they'd have any problems getting challengers, for that belt, and have some nice feuds.
Oh, absolutely.
So that was the first thing that popped into my head.
Yeah. Any others?
Wow.
I got a triple threat I'd like to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nico Silva,
Nico, yeah.
Channing Thomas,
Yeah.
and Christian Casanova.
Ooh.
All three of them. And a ladder match would be incredible. TLC match, regular match. I think those three would put on a hell of a match.
Yeah, they sure would. And if he was still alive, God rest his soul, you could throw Nick Steele in there for a four-way.
Sad. Can you tell us any interactions you might have had with the late great Nick Steele? Because I'm sure you've had a few, right? I mean, talking to him.
I talked to him a couple of times.
Nice guy.
After the show. Tremendous guy.
Couldn't be any nicer. Am I right though? Like honestly, when you talk to the guy, he is just he was a really great guy. I only met him once, dude. And he couldn't have been nicer to me, Jerry. He couldn't have been.
No, he'd always say hello to me when I approached him, and That's awesome. I'd compliment him on his match, whether he won or lost.
Right. He's a big dude.
Oh my God, big dude.
Big hot,
firm handshake.
Yes. Yep.
He was he was a great man.
Because I had met him. Me and Sonny went to a top rope show,
right?
And just just standing around talking to other people. And Nick was buying shots for everybody. And I heard him I could see him. He said, "Sonny, good Leo, I bought him a shot." He didn't have to. I mean, there was already people there. He didn't have to call me over. He didn't have to treat me as good as he did. I mean, honestly, to me, he probably couldn't have been any nicer. Just a great guy. And after he passed, the outpouring of love on social media.
Yep.
And they all were saying the same thing of how big of a heart he had, how great of a guy he was. Yep. Great trainer.
Yep.
The
show that they did in Brockton after he passed.
Right.
Everybody gathered around the ring and they put the top rope title belt in the middle of the ring.
Right.
And a bunch of shot glasses.
He loved Jack Daniels,
in tribute to him.
Yeah.
And they did a tremendous job with that.
That's awesome. It really is. And it was, again, so sad, but so many people coming out showing the love that they showed him and his family and stuff. Just incredible.
Yep.
All right. Stephen Page, who I think Dan blocked. Dan blocked him on Facebook. Stephen, what did you do? You aggravating him or something? All right. Glad you're having Jerry on the show. What is Jerry's favorite Chaotic Cold Fury match he's been to? Was it the one you just said?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Does that first one when I came back in 2012, 2013, that was a fun show. Because I'm an old guy, the memory is starting to fade a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't recall any specific Cold Fury main events per se, but any main event that involved either AG, Christian, Josh Briggs,
Yeah.
or Brian Malonis
Yeah.
was, was fantastic, no matter which match it was.
Right. All right. Dan Bolio says, Jerry, are you possibly the most popular fan of all New England wrestling fans? You're up there. Dan, I don't know if he is the most popular, but he's right there if he's not.
By popular, if you mean,
everyone loves you. The
we'll
fans,
say,
the wrestlers, everyone likes you.
We'll say, hi to me or whatever, before, during, or after the shows. Yeah, like that. I'd like to think so, but I mean, as far as the most popular fan period in terms of how many shows they go to and how much merch they buy,
I know where you're going.
Nobody holds a candle to Damon Farah.
No one, absolutely no one.
Not even close.
Right.
And I love Damon.
Me too. All right, referee Rich Lannon says, what was your very first indie show, or what made you decide to attend it? That's a great question. I should start asking people about that. What was it?
Wow. I want to say it was somewhere in the mid 90s, early to mid 90s, before ECW came up north. I attended a few Tony Rumble shows for the Century Wrestling Alliance. And I believe the first one I attended was in Melrose at the Memorial Hall.
Yep.
There couldn't have been more than 25 people at that show.
Wow. Is this a Tony show?
Yeah.
Wow.
Main event was Kevin Sullivan and Vic Steamboat.
Wow.
And the two of them brawled all over the place.
Really?
In the building, outside, and then back inside again. That was the most fun, entertaining brawl I've ever seen.
Nice.
And to do it in front of 25 people, this is why I love when guys give it their all, no matter how many people are
how it should be.
Are in the stands.
Yep.
They busted out full effort, and it was so entertaining. And then I think one of the next ones I attended was an outdoor show. I believe it was at Revere High School.
Okay.
At the football field. And that was another Tony Rumble show. He brought in Axe from Demolition.
Yep, Bill Eadie.
Abdullah the Butcher was there.
Yep.
So that was a lot of fun too. Tony Atlas, of course, and all the regular guys. That was a lot of fun.
Nice. He had a follow-up. Anyone on the show we would know besides Kevin Sullivan on the first one?
On the first one, I think a few people, if they were going to shows before me,
right?
I think most people would know Vic Steamboat.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't recall any of the rest of them, but they were, the usual suspects that worked for Tony at the time, I believe.
Curtis Slam Dog.
Most of them were there. I don't know if he was there.
Oh, he actually was at NWA New England.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Those
true.
shows were a lot of fun at Good Time Emporium.
Yep.
When they ran those.
The New York Posse, that's what was part of that.
Yeah, that was good. You mentioned Curtis Slam Dog and...
Mercenary.
The Mercenary.
I heard they were brothers. No, I'm serious.
Really?
I read that. Yeah, seriously. So if anybody knows if the Mercenary and
Curtis
Slam Dog are brothers, please let me know. But I was told that they were brothers.
Oh, wow.
I had no idea.
And our friend Jimmy Allen that runs New World
Trooper
Wrestling
Gilmore.
Extreme, as he wrestled as Trooper Gilmore.
Yeah.
He
wrestled King Kong Bundy quite a bit.
Yep. He worked a lot of those shows. So those were a lot of fun. And NECW ran the Good Time Emporium too.
Yes.
And probably the most famous show they put on over there was the one where John Cena wrestled Frankie Kazarian.
Oh, yes. Yep.
And at that time, Cena was known as the prototype.
Yep.
Before he signed his WWE contract.
Yep.
At the time, OVW, Ohio Valley Wrestling, was their feeder system at
Yes.
the time. And they wanted to get John some seasoning.
Nice. Put him in the ring with a great wrestler.
They absolutely did.
Guy that came from California just
Yep.
to be trained around here.
And I think on the same show that night was Beth Phoenix and Mercedes Martinez.
Oh, wow.
So that was a tremendous card.
We talked off here. Mercedes Martinez made her return to NXT last week. Looks like she's
Yep.
going to make a run for that NXT Women's Championship.
The-
Love to see her win that.
that NXT women's division is stacked.
Stacked.
They have so much talent.
Yeah. And I mean, even on the main rosters, the talent is there. I mean,
Yep.
people make fun of Lana and things like that, but you know, Sasha, Bailey, Charlotte, no joke.
Yeah,
These ladies are incredible.
absolutely.
You know, and Mia Yim is now up there with Retribution, and
Yeah.
so wasn't Mercedes, but it looks like Mercedes is no longer a part
Yeah.
of Retribution.
No.
So we'll see where that ends up going.
Yep, and I'm really happy for Mercedes because she was also involved at an NECW show back in the early days. She wrestled Sumi Sakai in Sumi Sakai's very first match
Oh wow,
in the States.
nice. Okay, I didn't know that. That's
Yep.
great.
That was an awesome match too.
I saw an all-woman show. I'm not sure if Jeff Costa put it on, but it was at the St. Stan's in Nashua I went to. The main event was Luna Vachon versus Malaya Hasaka.
Malaya
And they
Osaka.
battled all around St. Stan's. It was an unbelievable match. I remember getting my picture taken with Luna, and she told me to grab her leg. And I grabbed her leg, and she said, no, grab it and wrap it around your waist. So, I mean, like, I grabbed her. She's like right up on me. Maria's taking the picture, and I'm like, you trying to get me killed? And she started laughing. So I bought a picture. She signed it. Thanks for last night, cutie.
That's
She was awesome to meet, though. I mean, she was so pleasant to everybody that night.
That's
Luna
awesome.
Vachon was just great.
That's awesome.
All right, Dan Bolio says, so that's 3 times Dan has chimed in, and he hasn't asked one question. Did you notice that? Because this one, he says, could you please give a tribute to Brody Lee? Boys, this is crazy. Yeah, Brody Lee passing away, Danny Hodge passing away, 2, really, really great professional wrestlers.
Yep.
Danny Hodge might be the toughest man ever.
Yep.
Anything you'd like to say about the passings of these 2 guys? That's so sad.
Yeah. Brody Lee was only 41 years old. And all we know right now is that it was some kind of lung infection, not COVID related.
Right.
So, and that probably explains why he'd been off TV the last few weeks after losing the TNT title to Cody.
Right.
We hadn't seen him. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that, if they, find a new leader for the
Right.
Dark Order, or what they're going to do with it. But I imagine starting Wednesday night, there'll be all kinds of tributes by WWE and AEW on him. So it's just, when things like that happen, you feel really bad for the family.
Yes. Absolutely.
And he had 2 young boys, I guess. Yeah.
Very sad, and a wife.
Yep.
And they say he was just a great father, great husband, great friend. Randy Orton put on a nice tribute too.
Yeah. That's the stuff you love to read about when somebody passes like
Well,
that.
like we talked about a little bit ago about Nick Steele. Same thing about when DC passed away, David Kane.
Yeah.
DC Dillinger. I mean, the outpouring of love really hits home to a fan to watch, reading that and seeing that.
Right.
It's nice to see.
Yep.
It
definitely is.
All right. Let's try to get through this. We're gonna do Jared's next. But let's try not to spend more than 10 minutes because we have a bunch of other things to cover.
Okay.
All right. Jared Doomling says, have you both been watching Chaotic Reloaded? I haven't. I'm sorry. Thoughts on it? I think it's been awesome. Also, if you have time, I would like Leo and Jerry to book 4 championship matches for Chaotic Wrestling's Reloaded. Heavyweight New England Tag Team and Women's. Who wins and why you choose them and how. I can throw mine out there really fast and get it over with. Okay. Chaotic title. Christian Casanova. I thought I had heard from Dan that Killanova broke up. So I guess that's not true, or it is true. I have no idea. But let's say they did. I'd like to see Royce Bishop and Christian go at it. I think that'd be a great match, where Triple-licious would be like, what? You know what I mean? Like in the middle, what does he do? Yeah. But I have a feeling he's going to be part of the finish.
Right.
Just what side is he going to be on?
Yep.
All right. New England title, I'll take what you said. Triple threat match because the tournament's going on. CJ Cruz, Ricky Archer, and Charlie Cashew. And I'm going to give it to CJ Cruz only because I have a relationship with him more than I do the other guys. Mm-hmm. CJ sat in that chair. All right. Tag team, Death by Davey. Davey Ann and JT Dunn. Congratulations on your engagement, JT Dunn.
Yep.
Versus Bear Country. I think this match would be great. If it would be nice to see Chaotic get a relationship with AEW, because I have a feeling that Bear Country's not going to be around much longer. And if AEW doesn't sign them, they're crazy.
Yep.
Because they just worked for them on, what is it called?
AEW Dark. Yep.
The show they put on YouTube.
Yep.
These guys got to be there. And so that's why I picked Bear Country to take them on.
Yep.
In the women's title, Ava Everett is the champ. And I think they should bring back Angel Sinclair. Sinclair to take on Ava Everett. As you said to me off here, they have a lot of unfinished business.
Yes,
but I'm going to guess who's going to win. I'm going to take Angel because I like her a little more. Nothing against Ava.
Nope.
But
I love the Ava Taker gimmick.
Oh, I love them both. I really do. But I like Angel a little more. Yeah, that's all. I like my girls a little thicker. Yeah. That's probably why. I might as well say it. You know what I mean? So what do you think, Jerry, about those 4 matches?
Well, they're all great. I'd probably lean in the same direction for all 4 of them, to be honest with you. JT and Davey N would have no shortage of challengers.
No, at all.
That's for sure. I mean, if they weren't competing in that triple threat match, CJ and Ricky Archer could challenge them.
They're a good tag team.
Yeah,
very good young up and coming tag team.
Yep, absolutely. I'd have no problem putting them in there, challenging for those titles. The women's title, besides Ava and Angel, which has great backstory, and they could take that and run with it.
They never had their blow off match.
No, they could take it and run with it for a long time. But I wouldn't mind seeing Davey N being put in that spot as a challenger, even though she's a tag team champion. Right. Nothing wrong with holding 2 belts.
Nope, not at all.
If she, if they were so inclined to go with Davey to give her a run at the women's title. Tasha Steelz is out of the question because she's working at Impact now.
Yep.
So they'd have to build up the women's division, I think. Another girl that I'd love to see in that spot, because they've never really gotten their proper blow off, is Davey's tag team partner on the Indies.
Oh, Skylar?
Skylar.
Yep. She had come back, won the title, and then was gone.
And then was gone again, yeah.
Do you know what was up with that?
Yeah, I have no idea what happened.
Me either.
There, but I wouldn't mind seeing Skylar come back to challenge for the title too. And you could pretty much throw anybody in for the New England title, with the tournament they have going on.
Right.
I think that triple threat match would be good. And, you'd have to have a built-in story for that.
Yep.
Instead of 2 guys battling it out, maybe there was a match between two of the three of them that was unresolved, or
Right.
somebody got screwed somehow, and you put that third person in. So
That'd be good.
I think that would be very entertaining.
Me too. I actually do too. All right, last question is from Walter Marzik.
Walter.
Hey, Leo and Jerry. Happy holidays. Happy holidays
Same
to you,
Walter.
Jerry, who is the nicest wrestler you have ever met, and who is, let's just say, not so nice wrestler that you have met? It's a great way to put it, Walter.
Wow.
I know you've met a lot.
I have, and I honestly don't have any one particular favorite
Right.
over the other. They've all been nice.
Yep.
There have been circumstances where I met some WWE wrestlers, and at a lot of those signings, it's get in and get out,
Right.
and you don't really have much time to interact with them. So I can't really blame them, if they're a little bit short with you, when you're in the line. But the last time that I had an opportunity to meet some of those was at an Evolve show.
Okay.
And they had Keith Lee and oh God, what's her name? Rhea Ripley.
Okay.
They couldn't have been nicer.
Nice.
They were super. They were super awesome to meet, and those are the kind of interactions I like. I don't know if you remember a couple of years ago, Chaotic brought in Ryback. I think
I was not there for that.
For a Cold Fury show.
Really?
He was not as outgoing, let's say, as Rhea Ripley or Keith Lee. I mean, he was nice enough. Hi, how are you?
Right.
But that would be an example of kind of get in and get out.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people went over to see him. The other ones I like at any show that Chaotic or any other promotion has done that brought in, or Big Time Wrestling.
They bring a lot of people.
When they bring in the ECW guys,
Right.
They are awesome.
I bet.
Tommy Dreamer, Stevie Richards,
Yeah.
Sandman, Raven.
Yeah.
All
cool,
guys like that, all cool. Even New Jack.
Nice.
New Jack was really cool to meet and talk to. But any of the old ECW guys is awesome. A few years ago, at a Ring of Honor show, I met Bubba Dudley.
Oh, nice.
He
was nice?
He was nice.
Wow. Because you've heard that he can be not so nice sometimes.
But he was good. And I'll tell you,
that's cool.
He outkicked his coverage.
Did he?
With Velvet Sky.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
She's so beautiful.
She is.
But, she's had work done.
And she's really nice, too.
Because you remember when she was with, at the MWF shows, Dylan Cage.
Yep.
She looked physically a lot different.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's had work done on her face.
Yep.
She's had the enhancement on her chest. And nothing wrong against it. I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. I have a picture. I have a Polaroid of her and Dylan Cage. Mm-hmm. And she looks absolutely nothing like the girl I met 20 years ago.
Yeah.
18 years ago. Yeah. It's incredible.
Yeah. And I also met Zelina Vega before she was Zelina Vega.
Well, LPW,
yep,
right?
Jim Burgoyne brought her into
they do a lot of stuff with
LPW, yep. And she was very nice to meet also.
Yeah, she's pretty cool and she's beautiful.
Yeah.
So small.
Yeah, it's a shame that...
she makes more money, I heard, doing the third-party apps. So good for her.
And is it a coincidence that since WWE fired her, we haven't seen hide nor hair of Aleister Black?
Yeah, well, he was already having issues with the company before that. Because they weren't showing, he wasn't on air a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and it's too bad because he's very talented.
Yes, he is.
You know, I do got to say one thing, bring this up. You're probably lucky that they kept you going through the line really quick with Ryback, because if you stood around him long enough, he probably would have hurt you like he hurts everybody else. That's my attempt at humor, guys. All right, so we're going to play blank or blank versus blank. Dan, I'm sorry. You'll have to tell me exactly how you do it again. I'll have to watch this show again. So I'm going to give you two things. You pick one. Okay? We're going to go with the local one first, and then I have one that's not local.
Okay.
Team Friendship or Biff and Ted's Excellent Podcast? Tag teams.
Ooh.
See, I tried to put two that I know you like both of them. You know what I mean? And listen, just want to let you know, Dan told me this, okay? If it feels unfair that I'm having you pick this versus that, he had his brother say mom versus dad, mom or dad. And his brother didn't waste any time when he said mom.
Wow.
So I just want to let you know.
Wow. Full disclosure, I have not listened to a Biff and Ted podcast.
They were good, man.
But obviously, I've met them and known them from going to shows, and they are two of the nicest guys around. And Biff actually made it a point to, I approached him a couple of times when NXT came to town.
Yes, in Lowell.
And in Lowell.
I met him in Lowell.
Yep. And he said, hey, how you doing? And you know, he remembered me from, you know, the old chaotic days and everything. So he's always been super nice to me, you know, great guy to meet. And, you know, Ted is the same way.
Right.
You know, very nice guy, you know, top rope champion for a long time.
Opening up a vintage toy store soon in 2021 with his cousin.
Nice.
Very excited about that, to check that out.
Yeah. I wonder if they have any wrestling figures or any kind
I'm sure
of...
they're going to have some type of wrestling. So I got to say this. Biff and Ted's Excellent Podcast. You need to listen to the one that had DC on. And Sean Gorman and George Carroll. As they tell about the show Sheldon put on in Tingsboro when Jeff Costa showed up. That's all I'm going to say, because as you know, I love Jeff. That the podcast, he was not put in a very nice manner, okay, because he had issues with these guys. No knock on any, you know what I mean? But that's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a great episode to listen to.
Okay. But yeah, I enjoyed Team Friendship, especially when Malonis was brought into the mix with Scotty Slade. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Dan, that's one of Dan's favorite times of watching wrestling. He was a huge Team Friendship. He was one of the Shermaniacs.
Shermaniacs?
Shermaniacs, yeah, because I think Dan was one of those guys. So, pretty cool. All right, next up, Josh Briggs or Rick Fuller?
Whoa. I've gotten to know Josh a lot more from going to recent indie shows. I've seen Rick Fuller at shows I've been to, but I really never met him or talked to him. But in the ring, this guy, Rick Fuller I'm talking about, this guy was a true giant.
Yes.
And WCW dropped the ball with him, I think.
I think so, too.
I mean, he appeared a couple of times on, you know, one of their sub shows. I don't know, WCW Saturday Night or Worldwide or something.
Even on Thunder.
Or Thunder, any one of those. And he was just so impressive. And I think he should have had a run in WCW.
He did get a nice run in Japan, tag teaming with Giant Bernard. And they won the IWGP Tag Team Championship.
Wow.
He had taken over for, who was his partner before that? I'm not going to be able to remember, but he had a partner earlier. Actually, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. He teamed with Carl Anderson. He took Giant Bernard's place. That's what it was. Because remember, Carl Anderson and Giant Bernard were tag team in Japan for a couple of years.
Right.
Giant Bernard came back here to wrestle as Tenzai.
Yeah.
Rick Fuller went and wrestled down there for a couple of months. So.
I met Carl Anderson at a Ring of Honor show in Providence.
Oh, really?
A few years ago when he
Nice.
was Machine Gun Carl Anderson.
He's good.
Before he made it big. He's very good.
Yes. All right, NXT or AEW?
When they both started, I tried watching NXT live.
Yep, I still
And taped AEW
Right.
to watch it later. Or at the same time, I tried watching NXT live and having AEW on my iPad,
Okay.
trying to watch them both at the
right.
same time. And obviously that didn't work. But as time has gone on, I mean, I think it's just because I'm more WWE exposed. I love watching NXT on Wednesday night. And usually at the end of the week, sometimes I try to catch up on all the stuff I haven't watched, like
Right.
Impact on Tuesday and then AEW. But for me, it's NXT.
Yeah, me too. It is for me too. Dustin or Cody?
Ooh. I have met them both. I've obviously seen a lot of both of them in the ring.
Right.
You know, watching them on TV and at a handful of shows. Cody, I think, has had the benefit of getting the rub with the Elite,
Yep.
with the Young Bucks and Adam Page, and all that started
Right.
in Ring of Honor. And Dustin's been through the mill with all of his gimmicks
Oh, yeah.
in WCW and WWE
Yep.
and now AEW. I'd have to say from an aesthetic standpoint, Dustin.
Okay. Nice. I would pick him too. I'm sorry, but this is probably not going to be a very popular thing, but I think Cody Rhodes is overrated. People say, oh, you know, he was in the WWE and they buried him. Listen, he had over 10 years, almost 10 years
Yep.
to get over,
Yep.
and he couldn't, and he didn't.
Yep.
Not to say that he's not talented. I know he's talented.
Yep.
I personally think he gets more from his name, Cody Rhodes. I know that he's not always allowed to use it, but everyone knows who he
is now.
Okay, but everyone knows who he is.
Yep.
You know, I like him. I have no problem. You know what I mean? I just don't think he's as good as everybody else thinks he is.
And I think if you were torn between the two of them and you had to pick one, I would pick Dustin just because of what he had to go through doing the Goldust gimmick.
Yep, and being the first of Dusty's sons.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? That's got to be hard living up to one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time.
Yep.
You know? All right, before we get into the name game, I wanted to play a couple of little quick games with you that I'm starting to do on the show.
Okay.
The first one is, would you rather, okay? Would you rather watch 8 hours of skunk matches or watch 4 hours of skunk matches with him next to you doing commentary?
Whew.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's tough, huh?
I think 4 hours of skunk with him on commentary would be just enough.
Yeah. I picked that one also only because it's 4 hours. You don't have to be with them for 8 hours.
Right.
All right. Excellent. This is a new one. Pick one to get 3 questions, okay? I'm gonna give you 3 options and you pick which one you want and I'll ask you 3 questions.
Okay.
It's music, movies, or TV.
Music.
Okay, I had a feeling you would pick music because, as you know, I love my music and we talk music here and there, especially about one-hit wonders.
Yep.
All right. First question is, what's your favorite song?
Oh, man. Favorite song, I think just because I was exposed to it at a perfect time in my life back in high school, and some people might say it was overplayed, but it was, the one that hit me the most was Stairway to Heaven.
All right. It's a great song. So
Yep.
I don't know how anybody can have a problem with that.
And I used the line from the song in my high school yearbook. You know how they always ask you for a quote. And the quote I picked was, "Yes, there are two paths you can go by, but in the long run, you still have time to change the road you're on."
Nice. That's awesome. Okay. What's a must-listen to album?
Must listen to album. Wow. It's another tough one. I had the only albums that I really bought when I was a kid, that once I was exposed to them, were Led Zeppelin albums.
Okay.
So I have them all. Their first album,
Yep.
I think, is must listen because, before Stairway to Heaven and then all the stuff that they did after that,
Right.
their first album was a great combination of rock and roll and blues.
Yes.
So I would pick that.
Okay. Excellent. And how about on a playlist? What do you have on your playlist that would surprise me? I'm just going to tell you, I have Kelly Clarkson already gone, and I sing it as loud as I possibly can if no one's around.
Yeah, I have a Spotify playlist
Yep.
that I listen to in the car when I'm driving, and I handpick them. As of right now, I have about 1,650 songs on my playlist, and it runs the gamut.
Okay. So what would surprise me?
Oh boy, what's her name? Was it Carly Jepsen?
Yep.
Call Me Baby.
Okay. Nice. That would definitely surprise me.
Yeah, I think it would surprise a lot of people.
Last blank but blank, and then we're going to play the name game for the last 10 minutes.
All right.
Wahoo McDaniel or Chief J. Strongbow?
Ooh,
That's a wicked tough one. Because
Yeah.
I love both of them.
I do too. I'm gonna pick Chief J. Strongbow only because
We saw him. More.
we saw him more. He was WWF for the longest time,
Yes.
and he was put in the unenviable position of you had to get through Chief J. Strongbow to get a title shot with either Pedro or Bruno.
Yep. Absolutely. That was a great answer. But Wahoo's the only real Indian,
Yep.
which is funny.
Yeah, it is funny how they put him in gimmicks like that, because Strongbow wasn't an Indian.
No.
His partner Billy White Wolf wasn't an Indian, as we obviously learned later on
Right.
when he was sheik-adding on El Casey. So it's just funny how they put certain guys in
I agree.
certain roles.
All right. So we get a little over 19 minutes. We'll play the name game. We'll get as many as we possibly can.
Okay.
Have to start with August Gray. Have to. Anthony
Yep.
Green, August Gray.
I am
AG.
so happy for him that he
I think everybody
got the call. I'm a little disappointed that but it's expected. You have to have your name changed once you get it. But at least he's not Anthony Green, but he's still our AG.
Yes, I remember you posting that on Facebook, and I loved it because it's the truth.
It is.
I mean, it is great that he gets to keep that. He's still using all the colors that he did for his retro character and stuff.
Yep.
And he's been on TV, like you said off air. Last couple of weeks, not so much.
Yep.
But before that, on almost every one of the, obviously not the main shows, but NXT, 205 Live. I mean,
I
he
thought
was
they
all
were.
over the place.
I thought they were gonna kind of further the angle with him and Timothy Thatcher.
I thought so too. Especially when we talked off here again when Tommaso Ciampa started fighting. I thought that would have been really cool. Could have opened up a chance to have a New England state. Well, he's not from New England in NXT land.
Yeah.
Tommaso Ciampa. He's from Madison, Wisconsin.
Right.
So it's kind of tough.
But he's he's grown up with us on the
Yes.
New England Indies for years, and
Right. Will always know that.
Yeah, I consider him a New Englander,
I do too.
even though he's from Wisconsin.
Right. But all I'm saying is other fans that aren't from New England don't
Right.
see that, don't have that connection.
Right.
Like when we watched it, I don't know if you thought the same thing, but like I said, AG had just did like 2 weeks in a row with Timothy Thatcher. Then here comes Tommaso, and I'm like, this is, wow, am I going to see this? And nope, we didn't get to see it. I thought he was going to say, you're messing with my friend.
Yep.
It would have been really cool to see.
That would have been really
All right.
nice.
A guy that was on AEW last week on Dark, Mike Verna, the Superman.
Love him. And he worked really hard,
Right.
in my opinion, to get himself over with the fans around here, because he came into Chaotic as an outsider from New York,
Yep.
a Yankee fan. And of course, people turned on him.
Of course. Of course.
But through his work in the ring
Yep.
and the stories he was telling, he eventually got over.
Yeah. And he became a favorite around here.
Yep, and I think he did a great job
I
as
do too.
New England champion before he lost it to Brandon Locke.
Yeah.
And to see him on AEW Dark now, getting a tryout, hopefully he gets recognized for the great work he did in that match, and hopefully he'll get signed. And there's
I hope so.
bright times ahead for him.
I heard he was a good baseball player too in his youth. That's what I heard. Is that true?
Yeah, and
I know
think,
you will know a little more about him than I do.
and I think he coaches youth baseball
does he?
too.
So he gives back.
Yep.
That's awesome. And he did a great commercial just recently and all that. I've seen that commercial.
Yeah.
Great stuff, though. And you're right. He's from New York, but he's become a New Englander to a
Right.
lot of us New England wrestling fans.
Yep.
So congratulations on being on AEW, Mike Verner. And Jerry and I are looking forward to seeing you at Chaotic
Yep.
eventually. Nico Silva.
Nico.
A guy that doesn't get brought up on the show enough.
Nope.
Because I don't go to those shows enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
There's no knock on him because he's incredible.
Nico is awesome.
Yes.
I've gotten to know him pretty well over the last year and a half or two,
Nice.
and he's another kid that really puts in the work.
Yeah.
And just puts together really good matches, and he's a top player for whatever promotion he's wrestling
Yes.
for, whatever the show they put him on. Seen him in Top Rope.
Yep.
Saw him at Liberty States, Todd Sopel's old promotion. He wrestled a few times for them.
Yes, he has.
And he's just a great worker and a hell of a nice guy.
Nice.
Current Top Rope champion.
Yep.
And hopefully he'll be able to hang on to that belt for a little bit longer once they start running shows again.
Right. All right. How about the new Limitless Wrestling Champion as he won the Vacation Land Cup? Also the Chaotic Champion, Christian Casanova.
Wow.
Yeah.
That I think I glanced at it briefly, seeing that he won the Vacation Land Cup. This kid, somebody needs to sign him soon.
Yeah. I agree, 100%.
He's proving why, he calls himself the top talent.
Yeah. He is.
He is. I mean, his run as Chaotic Heavyweight Champion and his involvement with the culture,
Yes.
and now this. I expect to see a lot more posts from him bragging about him holding 2 titles now. So
He is one of the best wrestlers in the world right now, I think.
yeah, he's really come a long way. When I started going back to Chaotic, I remember Christian being part of the security team while he was in training.
Right.
because they all go through that.
'cause we see Brandon doing it.
Yep, they're all part of security.
Yeah.
I saw Christian do it. I saw Mark Sherman do it.
Nice.
Before he got in there,
Right.
and had a regular spot. So he's worked very hard for what he's gotten, and I hope he keeps it up, and
Nice.
I hope somebody signs him.
Yeah, me too. I really would love to see that. Alec Price.
Another kid that's literally come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And
Kid's awesome.
And he's another one who busts his ass.
Sure does. He
and
does.
works hard in every match. I saw the Bell Time put on a show in Malden at the Irish American Club within the last year or so, I believe it was. Alec Price wrestled Basic Becca.
Oh, okay. I wasn't there that night.
In an intergender match. And those two tore it up.
Nice.
They worked so well together. Becca actually ended up winning the match.
Oh, wow.
Believe it or not. But Alec did a great job in telling the story and putting her over. And he's another kid that works his ass off.
Yeah.
And he's destined for greatness too. And, don't be fooled by the fact that he's kind of small and doesn't pack on the pounds like a lot of the others do. But, technique-wise, he's technically sound.
Yeah.
You can tell he's been well-trained. Bo Douglas and Benny Jux have done a great job with him.
Yep. And Benny and him had a match the night that the Malonis took on Chris Dickinson.
Yep.
And at that match, I remember saying to my friend Darryl, who's going to follow that? And then Benny and Alex stole the show that night.
Yep.
Stole the show.
Yep.
You were there that night, right?
Yep.
That was a great match.
They've wrestled each other like 1,000 times.
Yeah. It's kind of like seeing the CJ and Alec Prices that have been going around.
Yep.
I saw them at Beyond, which was incredible. They were in the showcase match. All right, we got a little less than 50 seconds. We'll go one more name. Angel Sinclair.
She's a doll. I love her. And she can go either way, as a heel or a face. She does a tremendous job. She's another one that's learned a lot and come a long way in such a short period of time.
Yes.
But
looks like a pro too with her gear.
Yep.
I had heard someone told me she makes her own gear. Well, I'll tell you what, she does great with that.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Would you want to plug yourself on social media or anything, Jerry? Where you at?
Well, I don't really have anything on
Facebook?
social media. I just, I'm just on Facebook. J Lane, 1958.
All right.
So,
Jerry, thank you for coming on the show.
thanks for having me, Leo.
No problem.
Had a blast. Thank you.
Thank you. Guys, rope. Peace.
Peace.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.